It took me 10 years, but they've got the message. And everything coming out of Japan has either been designed by me directly, or was inspiration to design, or they copied it cold-blooded. But I invented Japanese design altogether. And everybody knowing the books, car styling, that every good designer in the world, like Pininfarina or Giugiaro, had one special edition of this car styling volume, edited by Fujimoto Akira-san. And Colani had 4 already, and we are number 5th on the going. So this shows my impact into Japanese design.
You began at the Academy of Arts. You studied there in Berlin.
Yeah.
And then you studied also aerodynamics.
Yes.
In Paris.
Yeah.
Why did you do this? What was
well, I will tell you, it's very easy to answer. I started as a sculptor because my father is or was an artist. And I wanted to follow him, like sons do, because he was working at home as a stage designer for big film companies. And then, as any youngster in the world, I wanted to build cars. And I fell on my nose with a little knowledge I had about car designing. When I built as a sculptor, I built cars. And I made up my mind I had to study high technology. And then I went to Paris to design and to study aerodynamics, ultralight construction, and aircraft design.
Yeah, you've been working in the United States. So
yes, and then when I was ready with my diploma, come down the stairs, I have written articles about new materials for aircraft design. And when I came down the stairs, there were 2 gentlemen from America. And said, "Are you Colani?" "Yes, I am." "Oh, come here, a cup of coffee." A week later, I was in Santa Monica, California, and I was head of new materials at a very famous aircraft company. I never had worked with a gram of fiberglass before. I just had the ideas in my head. So I had to learn very, very fast to work with fiberglass. And I stayed there for 1.5 years. And then I was asked back from the auto industry in France. The boss of Simca, it was a car company at that time, he came to Monsieur Pigozzi, he came to America, and as I spoke fluently French, I was commissioned to translate for him. And he said, "What are you looking here at a Frenchman?" He thought I was French. My French was nearly good at that time. And "What are you doing over here? We need people like you over there in Europe." I told him, "Give me the same contract I have here, and I very much grateful to you to take me back to Europe." I didn't want to stay in America. This was, for me, a little strange over there. And so it happened, and I built in '53, it was, the first European car in fiberglass. At the castle of Le Baron du Pouget. He was a co-organizer of the 24-hour race at Le Mans. So I was in the middle of the racing business. And I built this fiberglass car. And later on, I designed many, many of the cars that went to Le Mans with Deutsch Bonnet, 750 CCM, air-cooled front engine, tiny cars, but very streamlined. And they were running like mad until for, I don't know, 6, 8 or 10 years we were very, very successful until Lotus came along, and he was a little better than we were. Colin Chapman, famous Lotus designer, and he was much better. So we were out of the business.
But you had the same, I think, philosophy in a part, because he also was all about efficiency, lightweight things.
Yes, of course. Colin Chapman, I was even better in one thing. Colin Chapman started to build monocoque fiberglass cars like the Elan. And it was not all fiberglass. There were still steel beams in and so on. I have here in my collection the only fiberglass, totally fiberglass machine in the world. 40 years old. 40 years old. BMW. 700 CCM, rear engined, very successful. 40 years ago, nearly 200 kilometers fast. Streamlined, very light, efficiency.
So I think you like velocity, speed.
No.
No?
No, I can't say that. I'm a Bentley and Rolls driver for 40 years, so I'm rather the easy driver. I have many sports cars. I have the fastest Ferraris and the fastest Corvettes here in the world, being nearly 500 kilometers fast. But speed forces me to do aerodynamic research. And if you build ultralight, you have to have downforce to keep that machine on the ground. And I'm the #1 man in the world as far as downforce is concerned. Nobody can cope with us. Nobody. And I'm in the moment building a Corvette for America, 470 kilometers fast. And in absolute streamline, a big banger, a big American Corvette, not the smaller ones they're building nowadays. I had a big article in New York Times a couple of weeks ago, and I criticized the American car industry because they left their absolute top priority to build big cars and friendly cars, big V8 engines going like hell. And they're copying Europe with smaller cars and all that stupid stuff, and they can't. The Europeans are better in small cars than the Americans. So I told them to put their paws on the oven, to burn their hands, to try again to build better cars. And for 1 week now, General Motors is chasing me. They're calling all of the time. I'm not here very often, but they tried very much, and I even wait for a phone call. Bob Lutz, the boss of General Motors, would like to see me. And his #2 man is phoning like mad over here because he read this article and he wants to know what I'm up to. I'm not going to show them. This I'm building myself, a small series production, and I go to Le Mans with that, and we are going to race that machine. Yeah.
Next year? When?
If I have enough dough, that's a very costly thing. If I have enough money, next year I'm there. June is in 1 year, so I will do my best.
What I would like to know is, I read in a book that, nowadays all the airplanes have those winglets at the end of the wings.
Yeah.
That you invented these?
We did this because of the vortex. They call it a vortex. You see, an aircraft wing is a very complicated thing. You have over the wing a very fast airflow, and underneath the wing a heavier, slower airflow that makes the wing flying and keeping that plane upstairs. And at the end of the wing, the thicker air would like to join the thinner air above and gives a vortex at the end of the wing. And this put an enormous strain on the wing and keeps the plane of going fast. So we invented many years ago, when I was still in America, an idea. It came out of the car business because cars had wings at that time, fins, as we call them. And there the idea came along to build winglets out of that for planes, and it worked.
Interesting. Cool. Did you follow the X Prize? Do you know what this? The X Prize, the first privately financed aircraft, spaceship.
This one that's
from Burt Rutan. I don't know.
Yeah, I know Burt personally.
Yeah, because
when I was at the Bonneville racetrack many years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, an evening was given in Los Angeles to honor Colani. We came there with 13 cars, smaller and bigger ones, and we were beating many world records. And they gave an evening, 400 industrialists of California cheered Colani. And Burt Rutan was, Rutan as I saw, he was sitting beside me and we spoke about planes all night. He knows me very well, and I know. He's a good man.
Yeah, because when I first
very,
saw his,
very advanced thinker and engineer. They are building their things, and they look crazy sometimes.
yeah, because when I saw his spacecraft, I immediately had you in mind.
Yes, we are building similar shapes. Oh yeah.
Another question, something totally different. Why did you change your name from Lutz to Luigi?
I didn't change it. I was I got my name under Hitler in Germany, and it was forbidden to give outlandish sounding names to children. Okay. So I had the name Luigi, which I was meant to have, had to change this to Lutz, a German name. Okay. I hated it. And as soon as the Nazis were out of the game, I took my real name, and that's all. It's very simple. Very simple. Oh, yeah. My father's family comes from Italy, so I was named after a good uncle of mine, very famous guy.